Hello. Welcome to actual play. Judd, can I hear you?
Yes. Can you hear
Yes,
me? Yes.
great.
Good,
Don't
good.
know why it wasn't working off. It was only hearing me offline, but it's working for both of us. Hey,
Great.
everybody. Welcome to back to actual play. Crown of Doskvol, a Blaze in the Dark Deep Cuts duet game. The Judd pitch. Judd, you want to tell us the idea for this game?
Yeah. All right. So I've been wanting to do a duet Duskball game for a while, and my first pitch to Sean a bunch of years ago was, "What if you're a ghost and you're trying to figure out how like not to go feral? So like you're isolated and you know Duskball, but like it recontextualizes everything, right? Because now you're
Yeah.
dead and you have to figure out how to make it as a ghost. I had ideas about how ghosts could stop themselves from going feral, and like we'd figure that out through play. Or maybe you'd go feral and we'd lose the character, or you get caught by the spirit wardens or whatever. So we didn't pick that one, but like it was definitely always like ooh, I like this one, but let's do this other one.
Yeah.
And then I watched King of New York last week with a young Christopher Walken, and it's very much a product of its time in the 80s. Young Larry Fishburne, young Christopher Walken, young Wesley Snipes. Like it's just like so many people are in that movie. It's kind of
Yeah.
shocking.
It's wild when
And
you watch movies and you're like, oh my God, everybody was in this.
yeah, and I was like, I want to play Blades in the Dark now, but do I just want to like play Christopher Walken in Duskfall? Like, do I just want to do an extended Christopher Walken impression while rolling Blades in the Dark dice? That's a very possible thing. But it brought me back to the duet game idea of what is it like if your crew is gone and you get out of Ironhook? And one of the things I love about Blades in the Dark is that by the rules, your crew can fail. Like, not just fail, but like not just fail a mission, not fail a job, fail to exist anymore as a crew. You can
Yeah.
get to a point where your crew is gone and you're just no longer a gang and you kind of have to figure out what now. And it's kind of easy. I've definitely, every game I've played, like there's a teetering moment where
Right.
you're going from 0 to 1, where you're like, okay, like, if you fail a mission or two at tier 0, it gets spicy fast.
Yeah.
It gets rough.
And
Um,
and I don't think a lot of GMs think about when crews go after claims. If the only claim you have is your base, that's the claim. That claim seems inviolable on the crew sheet, but it is not. It is not inviolable. It can be
yeah,
taken, and then you don't have a place.
yeah,
And yeah, your crew can just be over.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens if you're someone who like the last job went poorly, and you got captured and brought into Ironhook, and your crew was teetering on the edge and it just dissolved,
Yeah.
and you get out to kind of nothing. And also very much inspired by the later seasons of The Sopranos, where people start getting out of prison and it causes a lot of problems. And I was always like, oh well, this is definitely going to happen in a long-term Blades game I run, where like siblings and fathers and uncles and aunts, and like what happens when your auntie gets out of Ironhook and she's like, nice crew you got here, let's go. And like
Right.
she's an elder and you're supposed to respect her, but like you've got a good thing going, right? And
Yeah.
so like I love that. And so the way that incarceration works in Blades was also very much an inspiration. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to, I was like, I think it asks a lot of really interesting questions. And I
Yeah.
think we can go in playing to find out, like, maybe there was a big conspiracy that put you in here, or maybe not. Like maybe
Yeah.
the wheels just ground you into the canal and you ended up in Ironhook. Like
I
it might.
mean, in most Blades games, when someone goes to Ironhook because your wanted level is high enough, the players pick a character, and it can be a PC, it can be an NPC, but ultimately it comes down to, within the fiction, generally the way it works is the crew gives someone up. They go, now sometimes, and sometimes you do something really bad, like you steal a bunch of Imperial weapons that were on a train to Gaddock Rail. Sometimes you do really terrible things, but in general, the Bluecoats are happy to just round up whoever from the crew. So why my character got rounded up, did he elect to go? Was it a betrayal? Did he just draw a short straw? I have ideas of maybes. I have a bunch of thoughts. I feel like characters who have regrets and who have baggage about their past are more fun for me to play. So I am inclined to think I probably did something really bad, but maybe that's not what got me into Ironhook. I probably did something bad because I was a scoundrel. That may or may not be a causal with why I was in Ironhook. Maybe I screwed over one of my crewmates and they all hoisted me in. Maybe something else. So
I love the idea that like you might have elected to go for the good of the crew, and you get out and the crew is like this crew is dissolved, right?
Judd, you're getting too close to home for me right now. You step away from something and it just dissolves in front of you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm joking, but I think it's really fun. The other thing that you talked about was moving the time forward to deep cuts.
Yes,
which I'm really excited about because airships overhead. Maybe I don't know if you want to play with the strange and the portal to the other living world. Changes in technology. New factions. I haven't gotten a chance to play with it. I looked on my actual play post on my blog, and I haven't played straight Blades, just not Blade 68, not something else. I haven't played straight Blades in 3 years. I'm like, man, I did not realize how much I was hankering for this until you said, "What about this?" And I was like, yes.
Yeah. I love. I mean, I love. I'll pitch game ideas all day long. Like literally, like that. That's fun for me. And. I feel like we just like we got something was here to be done, and I'm curious, and it might. I was just talking to Sean about this off stream, but I was out for a walk with a friend, and I got to my car knowing that I was going to go home, eat some dinner, and then come to this game. And Sean had messaged me a couple of choices for like songs to play during breaks. And I was like, dude, this might not work. Like, this might like mathematically dice fail. Like, it might just not work. And we were talking about it, and you were like, well, we can like make the stress for certain things less. But one of the things I like about this premise, I almost don't want to make it mechanically easier to be alone. Like, I feel like without someone there to help you, you fall apart. And I love that idea. And if you look at, I feel like people are going to be like, oh, but what about Omar, right? Like Omar Little from The Wire, he was a lone wolf. But like, even when he really got into it and went for big scores, he had a crew.
Yep. He rounded up a crew whenever he was doing something. And one of my ideas that was sort of like a mathematical fit, not a fix, but like an adjustment was, we can make pushes cheaper. But the other one I think I like more, which is the idea that I could get assists from NPCs, which normally you can't do. But then that reinforces that notion of you need help from people. And so it's not just, I have a resource that I can exhaust. It is, if I can get someone to help me on a job, that might increase my chances of actual success, and that works in a as a mechanic. And we're playing with deep cuts, which is all about trying out rule mods. So we can see. If I got mine right there. Judd and I were talking on Discord before this, and I was like, "What about this system module? What about this system module?" And you were like, "Oh, we could talk about it on the stream." And I just knew this first session was going to be Sean and Judd make a character and talk about every single deep cut option. The end. So it might be this first episode might be that, or we might zip through it. Who knows?
We'll see. Maybe we'll shred through it. I don't know, but I feel like I was running a game of Blades in the Dark, and I was kind of butchering it, and then like you joined our game, and you were like, "Wait a minute, Judd, slow down. Let's go. Like, and I really learned the rules playing with you and then playing with Straj. So I'm excited to get back to playing with you again. And
speaking of that game, the Wobbegong Crew. I told you like which song do you want, but what I didn't tell you was I had actually 2 songs lined up, the before and after. This is the track that we listened to on the intro is the after. But when we're making character, I will play the before, and maybe it'll strike a chord down memory lane. We'll see.
Awesome. Sean joined me in a game that was like 1,000 years ago, in which I watched Peaky Blinders, and I was like, let's play a game where everyone's just back from you all are a crew that veterans from the Unity War, and you're back and you're smuggling, and it was like really good. It made me very love the idea of like really going into Blades in the Dark creation with like, hey folks, let's go in with an idea of what the crew is altogether. Like, we don't need to just make 5 weirdos who all have different ideas and then try to fit these people into a criminal enterprise. You can be like, hey, we all come from the same city block in like the same city or the same block in Dunslow, and we're trying to work our way out of it, or we're there's a bunch of stuff. I think like coming in with a crew, like it was a really fun game. Matter of fact, I was going for a walk today with my friend Pete, who Pete was also in it, who played a character in that, and we were recently talking about his character, who was like, at one point the criminals in that game, the scoundrels, were like drawing moral lines, which happens in Blades. And Pete's character was like, guys, we're the bad guys. We need to stop this moralizing. We are the villains. Stop this nonsense. We need to kill this person. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong or what. And it was a sobering, cool moment. Like, it was a little chilling. And I think Blades brings that out. Awesome. Let's make a character. Let's not talk about the old game. Let's get to the new game.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got a concept.
Yeah, I've got a concept. So here, let me pull it up on ye old Roll20 and see if I can do a little quick switcheroo. Haha. All right. So this game, I decided to double down on the metaphor here of Crown. I think we were talking about names for this series, and I was like, and we bounced around a bunch of different ones and fell on Crown of Doskvol with the idea of like, it's a prize to claim, like everybody wants the crown. But then I was also like, I think that's just my character's alias too, because it's just cool. And it means that we don't have to wait 20 sessions before the name of the series comes into play. So it could be both things,
I love that.
So it's
actually a better name than your original name.
It is.
Too.
It's totally better. Yeah, my original was Kit, which is fine, but Crown I think is way stronger.
Yeah.
I was never super happy with it. I was always like, that's good. I had a reason for it, but I like this better.
So one of the other rules differences that we are going with is that because you're a lone character, you get a special ability from the playbook that you were when you went into Ironhook.
Yep.
And then years have gone by, maybe even a decade, and you take a special ability from what you have become during that time. And where are you at? What's going on?
Yeah, and the trade-off on that is that I'm going to take a trauma from the time, either the time in Ironhook or whatnot.
Right.
So this is a slightly more seasoned character. So I think Crown is going to start off as a cutter, goes in tough, ready to fight, covered in tattoos, brawny, comes out a little beaten, a little broken. Maybe walking with a cane, maybe with an eye patch, depending on the art I go with for this character.
Nice.
And much more sober about the world. And now is a spider, and now is trying to in Ironhook survived with their wits rather than their muscle. So before I go through special abilities, I wanted to talk to you about ideas that I had. So first off, let's get a consensus here. Here's my two different art ideas for Crown. I have not gendered Crown yet because I kind of want to leave it open. I'm kind of feeling the eye patch, but I don't know if that seems too corny to you.
No, I love it. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. That's Crown. There she is. Cool. Great. That answers that question. Next thing I was thinking is I've never played a religious character in Blades, and I very rarely play religious characters in general. And I think that there's a lot of interesting things to play with in religion in Blades, specifically around the fact that the Church of Ecstasy of the Flesh has like a public vision, a public message that they say, which are that spirits are, when you die, you turn into a ghost that attacks and haunts your family and everyone you care about. So if you really love people, if you care about them, you should do everything you can to destroy your ghosts so that when you die, you don't harm the ones you love.
Oh, wow.
There's more to it, but they sort of encourage people to essentially like hollow themselves, like essentially destroy your spirit. That's way deep down the path. And it's ultimately not necessarily in the service of the person in many ways, in the same way that many churches are not in the service of the individual. But I think Crown buys that. I think she's bought into that notion. And so for her, killing people is a really big deal because that means she's releasing a spirit in the world. And for her, her own self dying is really scary, because she thinks that the worse of a person she is, the worse her ghost is going to be. And so there's this tipping point balance where if she does terrible stuff, the more terrible stuff she does, the more afraid she is of dying, because the more afraid she is of what she's going to become when she does it. That may or may not be true at all, but I think that's what Crown has internalized. So that's just where I'm thinking. So I wanted to run two ideas by you for heritage, because that affects, before you do everything else, you pick your heritage and your background.
Yeah.
And the two ideas, thank you, Deep Cuts, for illuminating all the heritages. One of them, the obvious one, is Church of Ecstasy. Your family served amongst the clergy and the acolytes of the church, presiding over church services and doing arcane and occult research. Very came from the church, goes back to the church. It's a little Matt Murdoch-y, it's there's a lot that makes sense there. The other one is Deathlander. Your family lived outside the protective measures the people in your homeland used that the people of your homeland used to defend against the horrors of the Deathlands. You've endured terrible hardships, encountered strange places and creatures, and faced possessions more than once. This is a character who has firsthand seen how terrible ghosts are and how awful feral ghosts are, and is like, I don't think this. I know this from my experience in the Deathlands. So I don't know, either of those. I know this is my character, but also this is the game we're building together. So I wonder if either of those resonates stronger with you.
Yeah. So, just thinking about Deathlander, I feel like looking at Deep Cuts, there's construction going on beyond the gates.
Yes.
So your family, you could have family members out there, beyond the electric fence, beyond the lightning fence, doing construction out in very dangerous parts of the not yet city. So that's a place where we could put your family. I love that idea. I hadn't even really thought about that there are people doing construction work there. And of course there are, and how horrific. If you are from the church, then we could have members of your family, as deacons and nuns and researchers. And so I feel like it's a matter of what kind, when you reach out to family members, if you reach out to family members, what kind of people do we want to be able to pull from? And it doesn't need to be just one, Deathlanders could be people who are in the church too, and you could
Sure.
have family members who go out there and I don't know, like we could do a little bit of both. Like it could be
yeah, I think I'm leaning a tiny bit more towards Deathlander because my vision of Crown's church experience is not going to the giant sanctorum, but going to a smaller church and one that is perhaps like, I don't know, tell me if I'm introducing too many elements here, but I think that it might be sort of a syncretic religion where the Church of Ecstasy is sort of stamped on top of a forgotten god. So there's these weird mixtures of the forgotten gods values and beliefs and ideas and the Church of Ecstasy. I think that in real world, like that happens all the time. I mean, Christianity just like stomps on all kinds of religions and takes their stuff. So that might be fun. And it's less like, it's still very much the doctrine of the church without the like grandiosity, because I don't think Crown coming out of Ironhook can just walk into the sanctorum and be like, hey, give me a place to stay. I don't think he has she has that kind of like support network. So okay,
definitely not.
All right, here we go. I've never played Deathlander before. Let's do it. So I'm gonna say heritage is Akaros, Rose, Deathlander. In the Lost Zone, which is now no longer called the Lost Zone. I have to look it up. It used to be the Lost Zone, but now as of Deep Cuts, it's doing the best streaming thing we can do, which is look at stuff in books.
Oh man, it is. We are so good at this.
We're so okay. Here we go. Page 18.
Yep, that's where I am. The New Horizon District, the Dawncrest District, the Gadok District, and the Bowmore District.
Right. So Blades takes place in 847. We're envisioning this is taking place maybe a decade later. So by this point,
the New Horizon District is up.
Yeah, exactly. The New Horizon District has been built. So my parents could be there. They could be in the Downcrest District. But certainly when I went in, they didn't exist. So
right.
I wonder if I have that map here. I did not prep this. Let's see if I have that. I bet I do somewhere in one of these rollable tables, but it would take me forever to dig it up. But just envision the outside of Doskvol. Okay, so I'm taking that. I'm going to choose for my heritage die the obvious one. Oh, thank you, Judge. Yeah. Awesome. Choose for my heritage die. I'm going to choose Attune because that makes the most sense to me. As
that makes sense.
The suggested. What was it? Let me look at all the other ones. Maybe the suggested ones were Attune, Hunt, or Prowl. Yeah, I'm definitely not taking anything in Prowl. I think this is not a character who is sneaky. Yeah, Attune is good. And I'm going to choose, sticking with that theme, I'm going to choose Ghost Fighter as my
oh, nice. You punch ghosts, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was out there, I can you imbue your hands, melee weapons or tools with spirit energy. You gain potency in combat versus the supernatural. You may grapple with spirits, restrain or capture them. I dig it. I think.
Love it.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, and now let's look at backgrounds. This is 6 new backgrounds. I'm just sort of showing off the
I love the Roll20 interface. It's amazing.
Yeah, so we talked about my parents as being workers building. So I think labor and trade is the obvious choice for background like that.
Sure.
That seems right. So scavenger, like what job did I do before I was a criminal? Sentry, scavenger, miner, line walker. You worked in maintenance crews of vast array of cables. Oh, I like that. You worked on the maintenance crew for a vast array of cables high above the rooftops, connecting the city's electroplasmic power grid. Right. As we were building it, we were building out the lightning towers. And we're pulling out the grid.
Yeah.
So line walker feels like a really good one. I wasn't planning on taking prowl, but now it kind of makes sense, actually. All right. We'll do background is a labor background. Labor. Oops. No caps lock. Labor, line walker. Love it. And so I'm going to take a dot and prowl. Okay. I think that's as much of the pre Ironhook as this character would be. So I think now I'm going to switch them to a spider, and then we'll pick one special ability, and I'll take the last 2 action dots as a spider. I don't know what happens when we switch playbooks. Right now, I know I've got a dot in command and 2 dots in skirmish from being a cutter. So I want to make sure I keep that. Yeah, I lost it. That's fine. I'll just do those, and then that'll probably give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I've got 1 extra action dot that I essentially need to have to be in the other playbook. It seems reasonable, though, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's see. Well, I'm not going to use Foresight because that's about assisting a crewmate, and I don't have any. Calculating makes sense. During downtime, connected makes sense. During downtime, well, I don't think I'm connected, actually. I think connected is oh, these are good. I should have thought about this beforehand.
No, they're all good. I
mean, Jailbird makes a lot of sense, but I don't really plan on going back to Ironhook anytime soon, hopefully.
Right.
And it's really only useful in Ironhook.
I mean, Ghost Contract might make sense. It kind of like feeds into your Deathlander heritage.
Yeah, it's doubling down on ghosty stuff, but I like it. Okay, that's good. It's cool. It's fun. All right, so that's that. I've got abilities. I need to take a trauma, and I think whether or not this is my first my incarceration, I think Crown. If killing somebody is something Crown is really messed up about, I think Crown killed one of his crewmates.
Oh wow!
Or one of her crewmates rather. I'm not sure whether they deserved it. Not sure whether it was needed, but I think I'm going to take Haunted, which is not a, could actually be a literal haunting, but more likely is just as the trauma is written, it's not so much that there's a ghost haunting you, it is that you were haunted by your past actions, I think.
Is it one of the people you listed in your description?
They're all too juicy. They're all too, I mean.
It's someone we haven't named yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool. We'll play to find that out. Great.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, look, weathered, eye patch, stiff movements. Name, we do not know. She just goes by Crown. I think that's it. I think I've made a character. Vice is faith. And
Love it.
I'm going to say the Church of Ecstasy. / Empty Vessel. Empty Vessel is one of the Forgotten Gods. There's nothing canonically true about any of the Forgotten Gods, but I like to think of the Empty Vessel as a group of people who have beliefs about like the vessel is the body or it's the soul. I think it'd be very compatible with, or not compatible with. It makes sense that the church would absorb.
Got it.
Their ideas.
Got it.
So
got it. Cool.
Yeah.
So Yeah. Do we start playing? Do we just go? Or are we ready?
Do we just go? Yeah. I need to pick a contact, and this is gonna be different maybe for this game, or maybe it's not. Maybe these contacts are still still the one. So I have my past crew members.
Yeah.
Do you want them to be my
They're
contacts?
free. I think they're free.
Okay.
So I think you can pick a couple more. I would say the other advantage I would say is you can pick from either the cutter or the spider list.
Oh, I love it. What is the cutters?
So maybe we look at that on print and
I can add those in manually. Yeah. If I switch back to cutter, it'll break stuff, but
yeah.
Yeah. So again, we're going to do that great thing where we look at books. So look at these gorgeous books, you guys. Just saying.
I'm going to put one of the beautiful ribbons into the names on page 56.
Yes, because the hardest part of any jamming is coming up with a name when your player says, what's their name? It's like asking your partner, what do we want to have for dinner tonight?
So your friends, it could be Marlene. So the cutter has Marlene, a pugilist, Chael, a vicious thug, Mercy, a cold killer, Grace, an extortionist, Sawtooth, a physicker. And Spider has Salia, an information broker, August, a master architect, Jenna, a servant, Riven, a chemist, and Jaren, a blue coat archivist.
All right. I'm going to give myself a little bit of an up here. I'm going to say Salia, an information broker, is my uptick. And I'm going to add Mercy, a cold killer. Is that right?
Yeah, as your rival?
As my rival.
Oh, wow. Cool. So here's the deal with Mercy. I think Mercy has like a 100%. Like, she's known for being kind of a perfectionist. In the old days, there was a contract out on your life before you went in, and she took the contract, but then you got incarcerated before she could get you. And like, the contract is not good anymore. Like, she will get no money from killing you, but
right.
Like, it's a problem. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, she's just going to try to kill you, but like, it's a tension, right? Like I've seen plenty of rivals turn good, but yeah, cool. So I've been like daydreaming a lot about getting out of this horrific place. And I was thinking about like maybe the warden calls you in and like, but I don't think it's that. I don't think, or maybe there was like a fire and so they lost your records and so they have to let you go. But I just don't think it makes that much sense. I think you just get called and they hand you a musty bag with your 10-year-old clothes still in it. And the Ironhook guards spouse auxiliary has this thing where you get this like wooden coin with a suit and a top hat on it, and you can take it to a clothing suit maker in Dunslow, and they'll like make you a suit for free. And like the idea was like, oh well, when people get out, if they have a suit, they can get a job, right? Like right. Clearly, like what people need when they get out is a suit, and like if they have a suit, everything will be fine. And so right. The guard spouses have set up this charity where like a guard, like, and I think they almost one of the guards, like they forget to give you to you. And like one of the guards is like, your husband is going to be irate if you don't fucking give this guy a fucking wooden coin. And the guy's like, yeah, God,
they got to dig around and figure out where they got it.
He's like, do you have any? Do you have any left? And he's like, I thought you got them. And he's like, I've got one around. Hold on. And like, yeah, they like pull it out of something. It was like holding up something in the office, and like they hand it over to you. And it's this old raggedy wooden coin. And they're like, if you go up the road, there's a clothier, the Dunslow suit maker, will set you up. Courtesy of our spouses. You're welcome.
Generosity knows no bounds. She like dusts off her, like, gets, we see, she's in her sort of like inmates, she's in her whatever she was wearing as she's incarcerated, and comes out with like the 10-year-old, like you said, like musty attire that it's stiff and it doesn't, it's like it's got a mildewy smell. And she looks at the chip, and there's a part of Crown that just wants to throw it back in their face, but she's got nothing. She's got to start with something. So she's like, well, this is more than nothing. And so she takes it and disappears in a pocket, and she throws the satchel of her other meager belongings over her shoulder and walks out of Ironhook, and does not fucking look back. She has been, first day, last day. She is hope she is never going back there.
So we don't have to decide this now, and you can say like, oh, it's hidden, or no, she didn't get one. But one of the things I had in other games I've run is when you get out of Ironhook, in the days before, you get a tattoo of an iron hook somewhere on you. Is it visible, like, or do you have one?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I think we already established that Crown has lots of tattoos on her arm, on her chest. She has this tattoo on her chest, like not quite as big because it's impractical, but about yay size, of the two blades and the skull behind them. And that, if her shirt is low cut, that's visible. Yeah, I mean, classic places are like neck and arm feels like the thing. And I don't think Crown ever imagines she's going to not be a criminal. She has no aspirations to return to civilian life. So wearing it, having it in a place where people are going to see it, I think that like neck where it like peaks up above the collar, so it's easy to, pull it down.
I was hanging out with a bunch of children's librarians last year, and I got they had like a bunch of like rub-on tattoos, and I put one on my neck, and I was like, this is pretty badass, I have to say. Like, even like it was literally like a children's drawing of a star, and I was like,
still feels cool.
This feels pretty cool, I've got to say. So anyway, a little bit over the collar is just like a cool look. I'm down with it. So do you go to cash in the coin and get the suit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing she does, this is Dunslow district, which is very, very impoverished isn't quite the right word, but it's very like it's not a well-off district. Even a lot of the people who live in Dunslow, and Crown may or may not know this, but a lot of the people who live in Dunslow like are in an endless cycle of incarceration where they're like sent out to get a job and they can't get a job, and then they end up stealing to make ends meet, and then they get thrown back in, and they just become endless form of work labor. And so there's a part of her that's just like wants to get out of Dunslow as fast as she possibly can. So I think she's, I think it's a matter of like smelling her own clothes and being like, oh my God, I can't be in polite society dressed like this. So much as she doesn't want to, she stays in and goes to the.
Having run an after-school program in a prison town, I can tell you that one of the things that happens in those towns is sometimes people live there because they want to be able to visit their loved ones easily. And so what we end up having is situations where one people's dad is a guard and another people's dad is incarcerated.
Yeah.
And it feeds into like, so anyway, there are people who live here just because they want to be able to like have a chance to visit their loved ones in Ironhook. And it's a total cycle, and the place is a total ruin. There's a labor camp, there's a ghetto, there is a mud quarry pit.
in your oh, Desmond had a good idea. I missed it, but he said she could be, instead of haunted, she could be paranoid that I'm going to be haunted at a meta to the meta layer. I might, if I have additional trauma, I might add that. But I'm wondering if your concept of the release from Ironhook is the kind of thing where they do it in batches, where like a bunch of people are getting let out at once, or is it sort of trickle one at a time as sentences run up? Am I alone? Am I with a group?
I think it's a trickle.
Yeah.
I think they get people. They know that being alone. I think it reinforces I think the theme of the game, which is being alone in Doskvol is a dangerous thing. And I think it reinforces how really it would be more humane to let you out as a group and like, hey, look out for each other until you get to where you're going, right? That would be a nice thing to do, and it's just they just don't give a shit. And so
I think when she first gets out, there's like this look around of, is anyone going to be here? And then very quickly she realizes nope, and then starts walking to the tailors. Oh, I promised something earlier. I will deliver on it now. This was the music that was playing when she got in there. I don't know if you recall that one. I found that as I was going through my archives. That was what we used for Wobbegong Gang.
Yeah, I remember it. It's awesome. Old days. So yeah, you take a couple steps. No one is waiting for you. No one's even waiting to mug you because you have nothing worth taking,
right?
Except for a literal wooden coin that is made by a group of spouses, and I think you see like the skyline is different, right? Like there is an Imperial airship in the sky. Like I think the clouds part. And you see the Covenant, with beams of light coming down over the city.
Yeah, has it got like the spotlights, like surveying part of the city?
Yeah, and I think you can see that all of the construction equipment that was in Silkshore is gone. Like the construction of Silkshore is done. Silkshore is this built neon, raging like little Vegas in Doskvol, and it's complete. Maybe there's one building that just never got finished, right? There was just that one building that they just could not get built.
We built the castle on the bog and it sunk. So we built another castle on the bog and it sunk. Yeah.
It's like there's one skeleton, skyscraper, but the rest of Silkshore is just this towering, bit of lights and debauchery. But yeah, the sky is different. I think it smells different. I think the lightning fence lights are like subtly different as the Leviathan blood has been kind of thinning out, and they've had to change the chemistry
mixture.
of like it really kind of, there's a feeling of like you're walking into a new city, without a doubt. And
I think obviously Crown takes a moment to, well, first curse when she sees the Covenant flying overhead, because that's literally not a thing she knew even could exist, and seeing something with this flying overhead with this giant spotlight just kind of, so much fills her with dread. It's just the realization of change is palpable, and she kind of adjusts a patch on her eye as though like the light is shining in her eye, even though it clearly isn't. And squints, and it's like, strange world.
I think there is the Dunslow Haberdashery is a converted funeral home that got turned into a clothing place. And this old person, I think you really can't tell their gender, uh says, you know, they are says, hello, I'm Milo. They're very old.
Mm-hmm.
And says, welcome, I'm Milos. Can I get you some tea?
The idea of being offered anything, I mean, obviously she's been
Right.
in like commissary and she's been in like there's like cafeteria or whatever. Like she has been fed, obviously, but the idea of being like offered something as nice as tea is like makes Crown look at him like,
Yeah.
and she's like,
And
no, I don't have any coin. Well, none but this, and she tosses the wooden coin down.
yeah,
She assumes that she'd have to pay for that, and she doesn't have
yeah.
anything to pay for it with.
Milo says, so I think you can tell right away that Milos has seen people break down and cry when they've offered them tea. Milos has seen people run away. Milos was ready for any number of fight or flight reactions when
Yeah,
they offered you tea. And Milo says, no, tea is part of the fitting process. We need you well hydrated and we need you relaxed in order to get the fit just right. Let me go put the pot on and then we'll start taking your measurements. And, you know, I think Milos kind of disappears the coin with a sleight of hand.
yep,
Let's get you set up to go out back out into the world.
yeah. You know how when you go into a hotel and there's all the like the soaps and the packets and all the stuff. I don't know if you have this experience. I have this experience of like, there's all this free stuff. I should take it. I should use it. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
I have soap at home. What, Sean? Why?
yeah,
But like, I
yeah,
still
yeah,
I have a scarcity mindset sometimes
yeah,
about some
yeah, yeah, yeah,
things, and I think um, Milo's probably knows better than to leave anything sitting out
yeah,
they have a shop in Dunslow, and so anything not bolted to the ground. But literally, if there's like a needle that's like just like a tiny, like literally, if there's a
right,
needle, literally, if
right,
there's anything that's just sitting out when they turn around, it like it goes, it goes
yeah,
somewhere because I
yeah.
don't
I
even
think,
have a needle, so like
yeah,
even that is like who knows if I'll need it, but that's Crown's position right now. Is she has to, she the first thought she had was, I'm going to trade this coin for something else that's more valuable. But then she realized, I gotta get clothes. So, all right.
yeah. I feel like Milos takes your measurements and then says, I'm going to get your clothes ready. Um, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I don't think what you're wearing is salvageable. It has a mold in it, and it's going to be bad for your skin if you continue to wear it. I would launder it, but it's just going to fall apart. Do you mind if I could put it in a bag for you, or I could throw it away for you? We could put it in the fire together. What do you want to do with this suit?
Um, she takes her jacket off, and on the back of it is a some sort of songbird that has been like a songbird, like a patch that's been stitched into it. And she asks, can I borrow a knife? Can I use a knife? And we'll cut the patch off of the jacket.
Yeah,
And the patch is, if it had color once upon a time, it's gone. Like
yeah,
it's all faded and grimy. And she takes the patch and then she takes the rest of it and she's like, burn it.
yeah. And I think
None,
it goes into an oven, or it goes into it goes into the fire, and it goes right up. And yeah, I think Milos is really good at making people who have been through shitty situations feel like a million fucking bucks. And I think
yeah,
like you couldn't go to uh a black tie affair, but like you look pretty dope. And so like what is the suit that, like, I think Milos asks you a bunch of really good questions, and he's and they've done this 1,000 times. And they know exactly what to ask and exactly what follow-up questions to ask and how to
Nice.
get and all the words and what collar, and how high would it go up and what is the suit that Crown ends up with.
Yeah, I think I was drawn towards. Let me grab the token from it. I was looking at all the Blades art
Yeah.
before we started, and I was drawn to a couple pieces, and so let me put this in here. Boop, boop, boop. Switch back over there, and so yeah, I think it's this high collared
Nice.
suit that again the tattoo just sort of sticks out, just sticks out from it.
Yeah.
But it's drab enough that she will go unnoticed, but I think it's nicely cut enough that she looks respectable in terms of like someone who's capable, someone who's been around. And yeah, whatever she was wearing before, I don't know that it looked like this. I think it probably was. I think what she wore before was sleeveless and had like all of her tattoos from being in the Deathlands like visible. She sort of like wore them really proud. Back when she had like more muscle mass than she does now. Back when she was like just used to being a scrapper, and now it's a little more reserved, a little more respectable. Yeah. I think that's the look.
Yeah. I think Milos nods and says, "You look ready. Do you want to talk about where you're going to go first, or do you want to just head out that door and go?"
What's your game, Milos? You get intel from released inmates and then sell it back to the wardens so they know where to pick us up.
He looks like they look really sad, like and they say, "No, actually, I make a fair living through the charity. My family has been haberdashers for years. I don't sell anything. I ask these questions because very often this is the first place where people have seen any kind of kindness in a good long time. And so if they go out into that world of the dusk and they face something that is unpleasant, they will more likely come right back here. And I don't have very much for anyone. And so if someone comes back,
you don't want
I
me
want to
knocking
make
on your doorstep.
No, it's not that I don't want you to. It's that I don't have a lot to support you with other than this suit and a helpful ear.
Well, Milos, it's a good suit. Thank you for that.
It is a good suit. You wear it well, Crown. You wear it very well. Sometimes it helps people to talk things through, but if you would rather keep it close to your vest, so to speak, I understand that, and I will respect it. I promise you that nothing that is said here will leave this room. That is what I can promise you.
The only member of my crew that I ever that I ever heard from while I was inside is now working at Tangletown. And my two thoughts about Tangletown are: one, it's neutral territory where people aren't supposed to start fights. And two, I just might have a friend there. So that seems the safest bet to me now. Yeah. It does mean going through Crow's Foot to get there, or Silk Shore. But how bad could it be?
Milos winces when you say how bad can it be, and they wish you luck. And I think they like do that thing that like people who really know clothes do, where like they pull at like a shoulder, right, and like a thing just like one more time just to get everything just laying just perfect, and then Yeah, and then they say, "You look ready."
That's that'll have to do. So there's basically two ways to get to Tangletown. One is straight north through Char Hollow, the
Yeah,
the even somehow even less wealthy district than Dunslow, or go west through the Vegas world of Silk Shore.
yeah,
And then I realize it doesn't actually go through, but you might go into Crow's Foot. You might tip into it, but you don't necessarily have to. I'll throw it up on
yeah.
the screen just to show everybody. There's some icons on here that were just examples, but coming from Dunslow, and this is Tangletown right here.
Right.
Is that big enough? So I'm at 3 right now or thereabouts.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get. I think just having a suit even this nice, I'm gonna get mugged in Char Hollow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go through Silk Shore because
Sounds good.
it's lights and glitz and glam, and hopefully I will be the least exciting thing for someone to see. So it's more out of the way. I got to walk through Dunslow for a while. I got to go into Barrow Cleft, but I think it's a smarter path. To get there.
So, I think the way I picture it is every person from your old crew that you meet with is a job.
Yeah.
And like we've already said how we're going to approach this person. And so I think let's make that initial roll for like
like an engagement roll, like
an engagement roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And again, like as you said, we are futzing with how this game works because, but I think that's kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah. I mean, usually a score is like a general kind of plan and an objective, and I think I have that. I mean, my general sort of plan is to it's a social score. That's the approach. And my inside is I happen to know where Sunny works, and I happen to know that Tangletown is neutral, is like violence besides just fistfights is pretty forbidden. So it feels like it's so that I think that's my detail. You know, what's the detail of the score? Or hold on, we'll pull it up. 1 second. We're pros at this. Let's actually grab the engagement rolls.
Yeah. So I think I'm on page 128.
Great.
Because what would a Sean and Judd AP be if we did not pick up a book
at
least 4
times?
So
a social engagement, the detail is the social connection. So the social connection is former crewmate, Sunny.
Yeah, done. So like I don't think it's particularly bold or daring.
No.
But I think your detail does expose not a vulnerability, but like, I think that's worth an extra D.
Right.
I think you've got a friend or contact. I think that's a plus D. Are there any other elements that you want to consider?
Or do I have any rivals? Is Mercy looking for me there? Or somebody else that
I don't think anyone knows you exist yet. Like you are still in Ironhook for a good while. Like you haven't.
I mean that stands to me is that like even if Crown was in good favor with folks, I don't think they would know she was out. Right, like it's just not even like it's not like they're no one's getting letters. And Sunny has reached out to me a couple times. He's told me a little bit about what's going on, but it's very rare. Once a year is probably not even once a year, once every couple of years. So I think I may have seen him 3-4 times in my time in.
Got it.
Awesome. So I'm rolling 3 dice. Let's do that thing. Let's make an engagement roll. I don't have a I don't know, man. It's been a while since I've used Roll20. I don't think there's a specific engagement roll, but I can make a fortune roll. Let's pull it up. I'm gonna roll 3 dice. We're going to call it engagement. Got a 5. I think that's
cool.
Risky situation. Sounds right.
Yeah. Man, I haven't done this in a while. So
you and me both.
Outcomes. Yeah, 5 is a risky situation. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you see Sonny like at the door.
Nice.
And he like does a double take. Sonny is a big scav with a beard and 2 braids. The once red hair is going a little white. And I think they've got like a sunrise, as if like their eyebrows are mountains that's like rising over their like up into their forehead. Hence the name Sunny. I think the Blue Suns were a like a Scav military unit in the Unity War, and Sunny has never talked about it. What they did in that time.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of Scav pride, and we'll definitely talk about Scav dancing and music and food and all that. But never talked about the war very much. But
and at this point, that was 15 years ago, right? At this point, that was. I mean,
right.
not that you forget that stuff, but now It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he comes over and shakes your hand and just smiles and says, I can't believe you're here.
Yeah, I guess they ran out of space in the hook and had to let someone, the rats broke out of the cells. I guess my time was up. They never said anything. They just called me one day and shoved a sack, and I held up my sack of the few possessions that I had, shoved a sack in my hand and said, "Get out."
Yeah. Yeah. So like when you walked up, Sonny was talking to someone and they didn't walk away, and you could tell like you can tell because Sonny pretty well that Sonny wanted them to just like continue walking in, but they're like watching. And this older woman with a your tattoo is a hook, and her tattoo coming out from her collar is she's like in a gray banker's suit, but she's got this tattoo of a crow that's like peeking out. And she says, Sonny, who's your friend with such a fresh suit from the Dunslow Haberdashery?
I knew it would give me away.
And Sonny winces and says, This is an old friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, from a crew I worked with. And
I kind of cut. Like just as he's about to do, I look at her and I go, I'm Crown. What's it to you?
She shrugs and says, you just got out today and this is the first place you come?
I mean, not a lot of options.
Sonny, always the peacemaker, right? He
Yeah.
says things are a little fucked up. And an inspector washed up in the Tangles, and we don't think they were killed here, but this is where they ended up, and so there's just a lot of heat right now.
Oof. And I look back at the woman who I don't think has introduced herself.
Yeah, she says she introduces herself and she
Okay.
says, "Excuse my, I'm Martin Gull. I own this tavern."
Oh, I've heard your name. I just guess I never put a name to a face. Wow, you've done a lot. There's a lot of stories about you, Martin.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored that it's made it that far. Why don't we come on in? Let's the three of us have a drink. Come on.
Sure. It puts Martin Gull is used to run the Crows and stepped down and doesn't run. It's got out of the criminal life, and like I think she's kind of a legendary figure in Crown's mind. Not that Crown has any aspirations to get out of the life, but like nobody ever makes it out, and Martin is like the one that did, and so Crown's disposition changes quite a bit when she realizes who she is.
Yeah. I'm going to change. I don't think it was an inspector who got killed. I'm going to go with the Tangletown faction story, which is that the person who got killed was Captain Volker of the Imperial military.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. I assume they fill me in on it over a drink.
Yeah.
What's the Imperial military even doing in Doskvol? We won. I mean, the war is over, right? We're not getting in another one, right? She looks to Sunny like, again, we're not going to talk about Unity War, but
right.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I think Sunny looks grim and says they're conscripting. They're conscripting. They're getting regiments into service. They're gearing up. There's a lot of momentum there.
Why would you prepare for a war you're not in unless you were going to start one? Imperial military and tank. Things have changed. What's that thing flying overhead?
And like it dawns on them that like you just don't know what the fuck that is, right? Like you couldn't see it from Ironhook. Like you just
all I know is it's a big thing flying around with lights.
Yeah, I think
my guess is Crown can't even get a good look at it because mostly what she sees is the light coming down from it. That the airship itself is probably so high up and so dark up there that like, she's only getting whatever is visible from the light that shines down.
Imperial Airship Covenant.
Hold on. Are we at war? Did we go to war when I was inside?
Not yet. It's floating there.
Tell you one thing. I just spent 10 years inside a dark box. I'm not giving Doskvol another minute of my time. If conscripts come looking, she sort of looks over her shoulders. So Martin, you got Bluecoats up in your business right now?
Bluecoats.
Inspectors? Wardens? What is it? I mean, I gotta imagine. I don't know what it's like when somebody.
It's Imperial military. It's an Imperial military who got killed. It's not blue cloaks. It's black cloaks.
At this point, Crown has experienced enough new things she isn't familiar with that she just acts like Sure, that's a thing,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like at this
Like-
point, she's kind of inured to. I'm sure at some point it will strike her again as this is something new she's not familiar with. But
Yeah. Yeah, Sunny winces at the name. And I think as that's when things go poorly. I think the first,
yes.
I think an imperial police officer puts their badge on the table and sits down and says, Lady Gull, I've heard you're a very reasonable, smart woman.
Crown gets real quiet, taking it in.
A imperial officer was killed in your Tangles. She says, we didn't. He goes, yeah. It's too much, too soon. I need someone in your crew to pay a price. So someone's going to be in the hook. I'm going to give you, I've got a few other errands to run. It's going to take me about 20 minutes. And then when I'm done, I'd like whoever it is, and he literally puts like cuffs on the table, to be waiting for me outside with this on. I'm going to trust that you're going to do the right thing. He didn't say his name. He didn't say shit.
Yeah, he just had a badge, and he
picks his imperial badge up and turns around and walks away.
While he's there, while they're having this conversation, and this could be a study roll if you think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I want to get a sense of how much this guy cares about his job, how much this guy is just punching in, punching out, and doing is like, oh, the answer to we found somebody dead here is someone goes in, or whether he has any interest in actually finding out what happened.
Right.
And I'd like to get a sense of does he care at all about the truth?
Yeah.
Whatever went on. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
So I have it out in study. That's great.
Make a roll. Let's roll some dice.
Let's roll some dice. Let's go right off the bat. The devil's bargain that I can think of is Crown was planning on not getting involved. And I think a better way to find out whether or not he wants to know the answer is to ask him directly. And I'm wondering if you would consider devil's bargain of, at this point, he hasn't clocked me, but if I engage with him, now I will be on his, now he's seen me. Does that feel right to you? Happy to make it juicy.
It doesn't work with a couple of things that I'm thinking.
Okay.
But
that's fine. I don't need it.
I'll say that, how about I will counter your devil's bargain.
Yeah.
With how about just +2 heat for this job?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a crew sheet, so I will just track heat.
Yeah. We'll just
heat
track it the old-fashioned way.
For now, yeah.
Yeah. And then let's make a roll, and then we'll take a break.
Sounds good. All right. Risky standard? We know it's risky, right? Standard effect?
Yeah, I think it's risky standard. Yeah.
1 bonus die for the heat. Ha!
A 6.
Who knows which one of those was the devil's bargain? But
Right.
I'm gonna assume it was the devil that gave me that 6 as opposed to the one I was gonna get otherwise.
Awesome. He would love for someone to figure it out if it happened quickly and he could take credit for it.
Right.
Yeah, he'd
Yeah.
like that.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, he's got to come up with an answer soon. And the easy answer is I put someone away for it. The better answer is we know what actually happened. And yeah.
So as he gets up to leave, do you stop him?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I can roll this forward, and I say, wouldn't your badge look a lot shinier with you know, sergeant marks, you know, whatever like the next rank I'm get. Well, Crown doesn't know. So she's like, I think she just says, wouldn't your badge look a lot shinier if you were if you got a promotion for finding out what happened here? What actually happened?
Actually happened, huh?
I mean, it's more impressive than just bringing in someone everyone knows had nothing to do with it.
I don't know. You know, Blue Sun paramilitary tattoo on his face. I mean, looks okay to me. What are you suggesting?
You've probably got a few more errands than 20 minutes. Give me a day to find out what happened, and if I'm wrong, if I don't find anything, you know, proceed as normal. Nothing's changed. No one's going anywhere. But if I do, that's going to look mighty shiny on your record.
A day, huh?
How long could it take?
6 hours. You've got till smoke hour.
Till smoke. She nods.
And I think then that's when he slips. He says, "Good luck, Crown," and you never told him your name.
Oh shit.
And let's break on that. And
that's nice.
Take our break. Yeah.
Nice.
As it walks.
Folks, we'll be back in 5, 10? Let's get here.
Yeah, between 5 and 10.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you soon.